Lee Jones here from Hotspawn, and I'm joined by Kaajak after the defeat today against Team Liquid, which obviously unfortunately means you guys won't be going to Masters Santiago. I guess just maybe let's start with the obvious question of just what are your immediate thoughts of the series, and what do you think was the difference today?
I mean, to be honest, today I think we just we didn't have anything left after yesterday. It was hard to it was hard for us to get the energy up. I think we started a bit on the second map after booster speed a bit, and everyone tried to motivate us more. But it was just I feel like it was just huge energy drop, and um yeah, I mean, they also surprised us with the Corwood comp.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was just hard to do.
Yeah. Can you still take, I guess, some positives from some parts, especially I think sort of seeing how Corrode went, and I think it was a fair assumption that you guys were facing a fair bit of fatigue, having played 3 days in a row. I think after the the way Corrode went, a lot of people sort of saw it going heavily in Team Liquid's favour. Obviously, it was a 3-0, but the next two maps were a lot closer, and especially Abyssa at the end. So, are you still kind of proud of the way that you guys did rally and didn't just sort of like crumble and get rolled over like that?
No, I think everyone knew today is gonna be hard because after yesterday we finished 11 p.m. So it was for everyone hard to get a good sleep and everything. It was hard to get a good preparation also. So yeah, I mean Corral we got absolutely demolished by Liquid, but on bind I think we were up 10-7 at some point. So I think we could get this map. And on Abyss, I think we could also get. It was just we just couldn't finish game, which we already saw. I think during this kickoff, we have a problem with finishing games, so need to
Mhm.
work on that.
Fair enough. In terms of looking at looking at issues to work on, obviously it's very soon after the game today. But just do you feel like there isn't sort of enough positives so far? I guess things like that, like being in positions to win, is like the hardest part for the most time, and doing those extra bits at the end is tends to be the smaller change, because it's something for Fnatic as well. The last couple of years they've struggled in kickoff two, and it sort of seems to be that it's a team that maybe starts off a bit slow and ramps up throughout the year. I spoke to Boaster the other week, and he was saying that maybe the way that you guys are so busy in the off season, it means that kickoff can be a bit trickier, and maybe that's part of why it starts a bit slower. So the fact that you guys were still so close to getting to Masters as well, do you think there's enough to build on? You guys, you've seen enough positives going into stage one?
I think there is. I mean, I think that I personally think there is a lot of learnings. We have a lot of reps on the maps to watch it, change stuff because I think we weren't fully on the meta right now. Also, you can see all of these top teams are qualifying with double duelist, and we are not playing double duelist on most of the maps, which I think is a big factor right now. And yeah, I mean we will see how it is, but yeah, we just need to find maybe new style or something because the meta is completely different. People just fighting, pushing. It's not about all the utility right now. With the you only have Savarico and Savadron and you just fight. And Fnatic is a team that always plays slow. So it's complete opposite. And I think it's quite hard in this meta right now.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe just one more question on the game itself, specifically. There was one bit they showed on the broadcast. I guess you wouldn't have. I assume you wouldn't have seen it, but it showed Nats doing one of his typical speeches to Team Liquid, but where he usually has these sort of like motivational speeches, he was sort of telling Team Liquid to focus Boaster, or kind of saying like, let's make him miserable, or make him not want to play the game. And I also saw there was other clips showing Boaster looking like he was sort of shouting things over at Nats, and it almost seemed like this rivalry had started showing itself publicly. But I just wondered, from in the game, was there a little thing going on with those two? What was your thoughts on that?
Uh, I mean, I think there was some stuff that maybe Booster said to us, but I think it was mostly from the last game. I think when we played them, we won 2-0, I believe. There was some things that Booster was saying to us, I think, but I don't think it's a real beef or something. It's just making the showmanship and yeah, I think it's just nice to stand up and give some energy, do some things, because if you just sit down, it's kind of boring. Like
Sure.
we did yesterday, I think was a really nice game for us, because like everyone was standing up, shouting stuff, and both of the teams were doing it back and forth. So I think it was really cool.
Sure. I want to ask just about you and your growth personally. Seeing as it's now your second year or the start of your second year as a full-fledged VCT pro, and obviously coming in last year, I mean, like the situation was so different compared to now. You know, you're coming in with filling these big shoes with Durkar, and maybe seemed like there was it took a little bit of time to settle in, but sort of by the end of the year, you were like classed as one of the world's best in your role, and maybe the world's best rookie. So just how do you feel it sort of personally, how that first year has gone, and how it feels sort of different going into your second year now you're so established?
I mean, first year was obviously really good. I think it was like I grew a lot as a player and as a person. I think it's like just getting more comfortable on the stage, learning some stuff and everything. So I think I grew a lot. And coming to this year, I think I came like in the off season I was testing a lot of stuff, so I was not focusing on my performance, because I wanted to still be better. And coming into this kickoff, I wanted to prove that I'm still really good. And I think it got me in my head too much, especially after the first game when we lost after BBL. I was like overthinking a lot of stuff, and yeah, after the second game or third game, I came back to like my normal myself and just play the game. But it's still not the performance that is like I'm not happy with this performance still. It's like I was really inconsistent this kickoff, and I think I just don't have a proper read on the meta and how to play the game. Like I don't feel. Sometimes I feel comfortable, sometimes I don't feel comfortable. So it's like I need to look more into that, and for stage one I just need to be better.
That's fair. Um, just maybe sort of going off of the meta a little bit, or just the sort of wider narratives really that's happening in kickoff in a lot of regions where we suddenly got a lot of the sort of established teams didn't make their runs through the upper brackets. Obviously, like in EMEA, you had BBL and Gentlemates, and pretty much in every region, there's been teams that have sort of come out of nowhere and qualified as first seeds, and leaving sort of the bigger teams sort of fighting for the second and third ones. Just what were your thoughts on how that all played out, and why do you think maybe it was like that?
Um, to be honest, I don't know. I really don't know. So, I mean, there was like I don't know. I think Gentlemaids and BBL are right now. I think they have really good on the meta right now, and that's why they win. They also have like really strong individual players, and I think that's what get them to the Masters. And yeah, that's it.
That's fair enough. Well, thanks for your time, Kayak. I think we can leave it there. Obviously, commiserations on the loss today, but best of luck going into stage one. Thanks very
Thank you.
much. Cheers.